Welcome. Today we're starting a series called Self-Inflicted Wounds, How to Heal When You Hurt Yourself. I'm the serial intellectual. I'm the author of 10 books. I'm the creator of 9 original personal development tools, and I have 25 years of coaching and consulting and helping people just like you walk through self-inflicted wounds and learning how to heal yourself. Now, I'm passionate about this subject for a few reasons. One, I love to put tools in the hands of people so that they can experience personal development themselves. I want to see everybody see an increase in self-awareness, relational aptitude, personal skills, vocational effectiveness, and overall fulfillment in life. And one of the things that hinders us from all of those things are self-inflicted wounds and us not knowing how to heal ourselves. So in this series, we're going to get specific about what we mean by self-inflicted wounds and specifically how to heal yourself when you hurt yourself. But for the time being, what I'd like to say is that there are different types of wounds, right? There are wounds that you heal from very quickly and almost naturally, we might say, but there's some wounds that demand more of our attention. And we're going to focus a little bit more on those that demand more of our attention. I also recognize that in this series, there may be some things that I say or some topics we cover that are triggering. That is not on purpose, but in order for you to learn how to heal yourself, there are going to be some things and some places where we're going to need to go. And if you stick with me, you're going to learn what it takes and how to heal yourself from self-inflicted wounds. Now, one of the reasons why I wanted to do this series as well is because there's a lot of attention out there on wounds and trauma, and I'm grateful for it. In fact, a couple years ago, I was fortunate to serve on a panel full of psychologists and psychiatrists, and we actually came up with a definition of trauma, and we did some cohorts on trauma, and so I'm all for it. There's not enough information on trauma and what it is and how to heal from it. But what I found is there's not a lot of information on wounds that come from ourselves, wounds that are a direct result of my action and your action and our inaction, those types of wounds. In other words, self-inflicted wounds. And how do we heal from that? And that's one of the main reasons why I wanted to do this series. Now, this series was hard for me. It initially started as I was laying in my own bed a couple months ago, and I was thinking to myself, why are you in the situation you're in? You're living in a completely new city. You're as far from your kids as you've ever been, not relationally, but distance. You're no longer married. And you're no longer in Christian ministry. And my answer was, well, that's because of what I did. You see, friends, I know self-inflicted wounds. Not only have I helped people for over 2 decades, but I'm a victim of my own self-inflicted wounds. And one of the reasons why it was tough for me wasn't because necessarily pride per se. It was because, well, to be quite frank with you, it's easier for the practitioner to help other people than it is for him to help himself, right? You've heard of that proverb, physician, help yourself. And some of you might be able to identify with this. It's easier for you to help others than it is for you to help yourself. And I had to have some real dealings with God and some real honest conversations with myself about this. But the overarching desire to not only share what has helped me and the things I've used to heal myself from my own self-inflicted wounds, and also to see you get some real help in this whole issue. Overwhelmed, all of those feelings and uncertainty and anxiety and shame, fear, and guilt and all that stuff. So I'm really excited about this. So what we're going to do is in the following parts of this series, we're going to get into some of the nitty-gritty. And in the next part of this series, we're going to get into actually what are self-inflicted wounds? Where do they come from? What are they doing in you? And what are some of the symptoms you can look for as you are evaluating whether or not you have them and what you can do about them. I'm excited about this, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in part 2. Grace and peace.